Let me guess, you're an entrepreneur, but you are born to fly. How do you get your business to fly? Well, it took us about 2.5 years, I would have to say, and it all changed whenever I was able to actually have enough profit. The profit margin was strong enough that I could do cool things. You know, in the very beginning, I was doing books for people and writing them, cover design, bestseller strategy for $2,500. But I was doing everything myself, increase it from $2,500 to about $3,500 to $5,000. Now all of a sudden I had a healthy profit margin. I could take that money. Now I have this team, but it all is based off of the profit margin. So if you're looking to fly with your business, you need a strong profit margin. Break down what it takes to actually pay your bills. Then add about 20-30% on top of that for what you need to survive. You want to fly somewhere and go to meet these people in person? You want to start advertising? We didn't even advertise until year almost 4, about year 3.5, for us to really start to affect the market. We did everything organically. But profit margin, that's how you get your business to fly. Take a look at this thing. It's the fighter jet out here in New Kensington. I see people, I got to meet a lot of interesting people 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago when I first got into this book writing business. And it's amazing. Some of them are in the exact same spot as they were 3.5, 4 years ago. Struggling, still trying to give too much away at such a low cost, letting people take advantage of them. It's insulting to decrease the price of what you offer people. And when people try to cut you down, just remember that you're trying to fly also. Businesses that do well are able to fly because of a team behind them. There is no one individual that's running the whole company. We have 5 main writers. We have hundreds of designers. We have a video crew, an assistant. How am I supposed to make sure that these people are getting where they want to go if I am decreasing the price for people? Profit margin is what gets you out of that obscurity. It gives you the ability to start to expand and start to go more places more often. And so those businesses that are focused on that healthy profit margin, you might think to yourself, oh my God, I don't want to rip people off. There is a limit. You could go over the limit. And now when you do that, you're either going to be considered a thief or you're just not going to get any business. And I've seen thieves out there charging X amount for something that's so easy, and they rip people off. Now there is that fine line. For you to become a good pilot of your own company, you got to know where that fine line's at by looking at the market, looking at what you would spend, looking at your competition, and you got to find out where you could find that jet stream, that perfect balance between a good price, healthy profit margin, so you can grow your business. People out there who are too afraid to put the throttle all the way down to actually take off, these are the people who are going to be 3.5, 4 years in, nowhere. I know a pilot he actually flies privately, and he says to go from a single engine Cessna to a jet, private pilot taking multi-millionaires from one side of the country to the next, the difference is you got to be 3 or 4 steps ahead. And so rather than think of the next step, which you have a lot of time if you're in a single engine Cessna, compared to a jet where you have to think 3 or 4 steps ahead, it's the same thing with your business, because you have to know exactly what you're going to do whenever you get there. The faster you start to go, all of a sudden, now more control you will need. You need to know what you're going to do when you get to this level. This advertisement starts to work. Okay, I got to go over here. I got to automate this part of the process. I got to automate this part of the business. I got to get these people involved. This advertisement's not working. I got to make an adjustment. I got to go and do this. And that's part of being a pilot. You get better over time. But these part-timers out there who only do certain things, probably for a few weeks, a few months, and then they give up, these are the ones that don't get any better. I looked into it before, but to become a private pilot, you need to stay within like 3 or 4 months or a year of having X amount of hours in the sky, because you get slow. And the reason why people need to have that continuing education with flying is because you forget things. You forget the feel. And the people who are part-timers and they don't do things all the time, every day, they start to lose the feel of business. and they go back and get that job that they hate, and then they'll say, okay, I have enough courage, let me start again. But you really need to start at square one, because you don't have that continuing education underneath your belt. So to get your business to fly, you gotta keep doing it every day, as much as possible. Go in full time. Know 3 or 4 steps ahead. The faster your business starts to go, bigger and better things are gonna happen, but the more control you will need. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people on this plane with you. It's gonna be in your hands. Worry about the profit margin. Take care of them so they can get to where they wanna go. And good things will happen. You'll get to your destination much faster. Adjust the size of that picture if you want. And then you have to add the bleed to it. So don't forget to adjust the genres, the bleed, make sure the picture fits on the cover. And then if you do need to take out the fonts and adjust it, just go to clear formatting and take care of the embedding of the fonts. So if that's done wrong, just refix it. Sound good? Interview you within 4 hours, and we hear your stories, the lessons you want to teach your audience. We send you 20 or 30 different cover designs, and then you pick your favorite cover, you adjust the book, send it back to us, we do editing, formatting, upload to Amazon, and we get a printed proof sent to you from Amazon. It takes about 30 days, costs $7,500, half down, half upon completion. Yeah, 150 clients almost. Yeah, and also we do 40-page booklets. So that first one is a 120-page book, 20,000 words, and we do booklets for lead gen tools. Yeah, okay. Thanks. What are the top 3 reasons you like being an entrepreneur? Good question, Sandy. I would have to say, number 1, the freedom. I mean, who doesn't want freedom? We get to go wherever, whenever, with whomever. So freedom, number 1. Number 2, the destiny is in our hands. Every decision you make is on you. Success or failure, it's in your hands. But if you get smarter, you get stronger, you can do bigger and better things, so you can actually move your life forward. And I would have to say the third thing is that you get stronger, you grow, you develop personally, financially, and every day you become more of who you are. It's the only occupation you get to do that. And you constantly are progressing. And so you're more valuable tomorrow than you are today. So those 3 reasons are the reasons I love being an entrepreneur. Great question. Well, this is a weird question. If I were going to be a part of a war, which war would I like to be a part of? That's a weird question. But I have to say, the most interesting to me is the American Revolutionary War. I love the story behind it, how it happened, what we did about it, and it's in our blood to be rebels. You see, the American Revolutionary War is about rebels fighting off the British, the much bigger force. And the British at the time were trying to just take over the world. But they went up against that army before us, and it depleted their military quite a bit. So they came in limping against the United States, which they were still 10 times the size of us. And whenever the whole country bonded together, only 40% of people stuck together and said, I want to fight the British. 60% said, let's give in to the British. So 40% were the rebels, and they're the ones that took over and beat the British at their own game. So I'd have to say the American Revolutionary War is the most interesting to me because it defines us as a country more than any other war, I think. The other war I would never want to be a part of is World War II. I think whenever the bombs and stuff got so scary, D-Day, I couldn't even imagine how scary World War II was. So the first one, American Revolutionary War, would be the one I'd want to be a part of. And the one I probably would never want to be a part of is World War II because of how scary it was. And I would say that I commend anybody who was in that war, and I respect them because of what in the hell they had to deal with. Scary, scary stuff. Great question here. Mike, where is your favorite place to take a girl on a date? Has to be a haunted house. I love Halloween. You get a girl who's scared, take her to a haunted house, makes you look like the hero right away. Who doesn't like going to haunted houses? And you can gauge whether she's fun or not based off of even if she says yes to a haunted house. Take a girl to a haunted house, guys. I'm telling you.